The Beast of Tuksa, written by Trent Kanuga and Elizabeth Moon.
Chapter 10. Invisible Strings. We huddled around the campfire by the sealed exit of the maze. Exhaustion filled every fiber of my being, and I welcomed our break. Olaf began chattering about stories he'd heard of Giant's Crown and their motorized carriages, and all the exciting new things to see. He went on and on about what life there would be like for us, with renewed vigor, but I couldn't stay focused on the conversation. Something didn't feel right, and I couldn't shake the thought. I turned my head and listened to the sounds of the forest, but it had turned silent. No frogs, nor slithering worms, nor any other creatures moved about. Something was not right indeed. Only the shifting wind rustled through the trees. I looked around at the blackness beyond the empty branches and thick thorn barricades on either side of us, but saw nothing. Had Amiku changed his mind and caught up with us? What was this feeling? Cold, uneasy. Olaf caught himself rambling for some time without any response. "What is it, Mao? You all right?" I say nothing and stand motionless, squinting into the shadows just outside of the flickering warmth of the campfire. Instinctively, I relaxed every muscle, closed my eyes, and steadied my breath. I began reaching out with something inside of myself, like invisible strings going out in all directions, feeling and connecting my surroundings. I could see further into the blackness in a way that I couldn't explain to Olaf. As I focused my energy, I could feel the forest, its branches, its roots, the vibrations of the winds, and a slow-moving shadow. Then, a heartbeat, subtle and distant, but moving closer. Olaf pressed his hand on my shoulder and shoved his torch out in front of us in the direction where I was facing. "What are you looking at? Something out there? What's going on with your eyes? They're glowing." He stood staring at me, and Bartol came for a closer look as well. Then he sniffed and circled the both of us. "Think I'm all right," I calmly replied as I felt around for the book by my side and inched forward toward the edge of the thorn wall. The dried leafless bushes collected eerily in the shadows between the trees, and the small glowing light of the torch provided little clarity. Could it be my imagination? Am I overreacting? I wondered. The last thing I wanted to do was get Olaf worked up over nothing. Once he started to worry, he was sure to hand out lecture after lecture and drone on and on about what I could and couldn't do. Best to let it slide. I brought my focus back and shrugged. I was just daydreaming, I guess. It's nothing. I could see I made them both edgy. But at that very moment, a glimpse of flowing black fur flashed for an instant, and the blackness of the forest tore me from where I stood and dragged me into the darkness.